Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Meet the USA Today authors. I am so excited to be here with you all. How are you doing?
We're good, thank you.
We're amazing.
Excellent. Of course you are. So for those of you who don't yet have your copy of the Younger Self Letters, I invite you to pick yours up on Amazon. I actually just got this hardback last night. Yeah, I see Marissa's got hers, Sue's got hers. There you go, Eleanor. I love it. Lots of ways you can read it, right? So the very first thing I want to do is have you all introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're up to in the world. So, Sue, I want to start with you.
Sure. Hi. I am a mom to 4 children. 3 of them are triplets, surprise triplets. A wife to a career military fighter pilot husband. I run my own 3 businesses, and I'm also a new author, a new best-selling USA Today best-selling author. So I got a lot on my plate, and it's all really fulfilling and fun.
I love that, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Marissa, what about you?
Sure. My name's Marissa Murray. I'm the CEO of a company called Leaderly, a founder as well. So Leaderly is all about all things leadership. But I'm a former management consultant from Accenture. I've spent about 20 years in corporate roles until I became an entrepreneur. And I engineer by training, but fascinated by transformation and leadership development. That's what I live and breathe these days. And then I guess I'm a best-selling USA Today best-selling author as well. Author of 2 other Amazon best-selling books, but my first time being with this beautiful initiative around that hit the USA Today bestseller list.
Absolutely amazing. Eleanor, what about you?
Hi, yeah, I'm Eleanor Amora. I'm the Indigo icon, and I am the founder of the House of Sovereignty Multiplex, where I have my media house that consists of 2 publishing houses. I publish multi-author books, for example. I have a magazine that I publish called Inspire. And I also have my temple and my tribe. So I'm working a lot with spiritual women all over the world, mostly women actually, that I teach about how to control their energy system. Because with that knowledge, you can control your life and become just as successful as you want to be.
Absolutely. And Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am the founder and CEO of Bestselling Author Program, and I did spend 17 years in the legal field, and it was an amazing career until it wasn't amazing anymore. And then, at the end of that, I just kind of felt drained and unfulfilled like a lot of people do, and I transitioned out of that career I was a reporter for a while, did outside sales, and then I started my online business in 2005. My first business was becomeasixfigurewoman.com. I love empowering women to grow their income, their impact, their independence, all that stuff. And I've been a bookaholic probably my whole life. So it's just natural that I write books and help authors publish books.
Absolutely. I love that. A bookaholic. I think we can all relate. So, as we went into this project of the Younger Self Letters, we knew that we wanted to share stories that were beyond just another business story, this is what I know, this is what you should do, steps 1 through 3. We really wanted to go deeper. And the title lent itself to that, and it naturally unfolded that way. And so I would love to hear now what inspired the particular story that you shared in your chapter, because there was a lot of things that you could have talked about. I'm sure lots of life experiences that you could have leaned into. So I want to hear why you chose what you did. So Sue, we're going to come back to you. What inspired the story that you shared in this dynamic book?
Well, when I think about what it is I can be sharing as an entrepreneur times 3 businesses and an author and a parent mentor, and I thought about what do I have to share? What's what's the message? And I really came back to just the encouragement and faith and of believing in yourself and not listening to the naysayers. And at every turn you make a decision and you find that people are telling you it can't be done. No, it doesn't work that way. Or who's going to buy that product? And just my overall entrepreneurial spirit, which is that jump and the net will appear. And I really just took a lot of belief and faith in myself. And I wanted to share the various points in my life where even people close to me, my inner circle, my parents, whoever had doubt, the tradespeople who I depended on to help me start my businesses. Those were the people that, told me things couldn't be done, or how are you going to be a wife to a military husband and a mom to 4 kids and run a business? And I wanted to be inspiring to other women and to know that is with balance, we can have it all. And it is possible to have that little piece of yourself. When I ended up finding out I was having triplets, I thought, how am I going to do it all? But I've done it all, and I found the way to do it all. And I put all that in my chapter, and I wanted to just be inspiring so that other entrepreneurs can feel faith that, you're going to get the naysayers and you're going to get the negativity, but you don't need to buy into it. You can believe in yourself.
I love that. Absolutely. That's the foundation. And thank you for modeling that for us, because that is the truth. Without the belief in ourselves, then the rest is lost. But with it, anything's possible. Marissa, what about you?
Yeah, well, I think like everyone else, I sat in the question, right? Like what would I tell my younger self? And I sat with that for a little bit and had to pick what age do I want to tell my younger, where would I want to begin advising my younger self? And I decided that I would advise kind of the version of myself on my high school graduation, because I just remember that version of me that I just felt like I could conquer the world. I didn't have any concept of resistance or challenge. And so I spoke, and I thought I knew it all, I had read, my dad, I believe for my 16th birthday gave me the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, so I thought like I knew it all and I knew what to do. But when I looked back at sort of that version of myself, I realized that I understood the concepts. I knew the concepts, but I tried to tell 6 little anecdotes in my chapter around when I went from kind of knowing them to really implementing them and understanding them in a way that's not the understanding that you have when you know the principle. I mean, one of the things you always hear, right, is as an example, like follow your passion. And so that's, you're like, yeah, of course I'm going to follow. But then it's like, how exactly what exactly does that look like? Right. And so I start to tell like anecdotes around, how did it show up for me when I wasn't in my passion, and how did I find my path to it again? And those kinds of things. Or other examples might be like, you might hear something like, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So, okay, the network's important, but what does that really mean? Like, it's not just about having a whole bunch of friends. It's also about sort of, what do you bring? Where are you generous? How do you give? And then where is that sort of synergistic energy associated with your collaborators? And so what I did was I thought through their 6 little anecdotes that really tie to probably could be considered 6 very well-known pieces of advice, and tried to tell them in a way that sort of showed how they showed up for me and how I integrated those. And I think I kind of wished that my younger self wasn't so sort of arrogant to believe that she knew it, and also was a little more savvy of what to look for.
Yes, it's that transition from intellectually knowing something to being able to embody it and live it and breathe it. What an amazing gift you gave yourself. And I love that you said it in ways that allows us to have a practical approach to it. Eleanor, what about you? What inspired the story that you shared?
Well, as I read the title, the younger self letters, I immediately knew which time in my life that I wanted to tell about, because I tried to commit suicide and I thought my life was over. I decided that my life was going to be over. And in the book, I am sharing about that moment when I was laying there in the hospital bed, and what I thought, what the thoughts that popped up in my mind. But of course, also what I would have liked someone to tell me, that there is a reason for me to be alive, and everything behind it that led me to this moment in time, because I am an empath, and how this has affected me in my everyday life, and everything I've been, everything I have done in my life, and the gifts that this have been given to me from this moment, and that I'm now continuing to giving to my clients and my students all over the world, because I think this is so important to speak about, because there are so many, especially women, that are empaths, and how it can affect us when we are absorbing other people's emotions, when we are in codependent relationships, when we are in different family traumas that we're often born in, to heal, and to bring this up to the surface. That is, for me, this is essential knowledge that everyone should know about. So that's why I'm sharing it.
I appreciate you taking this opportunity to share such a deeply personal and profound time in your life, because I think, especially right now, this message of remembering we're here for a reason. It's not to pay the bills. It's not to take the trash out on Tuesday night, but our soul came here for a very clear reason. Thank you, Eleanor. Michelle, what would you say inspired the story that you shared in this book? I know that you wanted to participate in it as well. We knew that we didn't want to just produce the book, but we also had something to tell. So how did you arrive at the story you shared?
Well, I arrived there by rewriting the story 3 times.
Sometimes that's what it takes, right?
Yeah, because one thing my therapist told me many, many years ago was, Michelle, your problem is your heart and your head are not connected. And so that's something I continue to deal with. It's not like, oh, it's magically fixed. I can, come from my heart, So I do a lot of intellectualizing and left brain energy, masculine energy. And so that's how I started to write my chapters. But I knew, like you said, Adriana, the intention of the book was really to not just sort of give advice, but it was really to dig deep within ourselves to see the transformation and where we came from. So some of the stories that I told in my chapter were around addiction, dealing with being a single mom with 3 kids, and I had the 1980s party girl life, and it was drinking was fun until it wasn't fun anymore. So it was like giving up alcohol, giving up toxic men, giving up under earning was a big thing. I know a lot of women deal with that. I call it overcoming under earning, and thank God I got a really good coach who said, why are you charging so little for what you do? And so that was like another addiction, was like, like having to move past all these different things. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I don't typically in my books share personal things like that, but I knew in this book that's I just felt like it would help people and would help people also see more about me.
Absolutely. I can see that. It's almost like we're trained in a very subtle subconscious level to overgive, to not really understand what exchange looks like, whether it's in a relationship or in our work. So such a powerful message. Okay, so next. There we go. as this is the question. I know we're in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, and we had a tree fall yesterday. And so the internet, we're just praying for it to stay for a few more minutes. I would love for you all to take a minute and share with us, how is the world a better place because your business exists? I know that it's easy to look at business as it's just another entity. It's, I sell something, I receive money for it, but I know that's not who you are. You're here for a deeper reason. So Sue, I would love to start with you. How is the world a better place because your businesses exist?
Well, so the first two businesses that I have run were for that purpose. They were to make some money and to be able to have some of that freedom and extra cash for the family to take vacations. And as I raised the children that I never thought I was going to have, because I didn't know that, I wasn't really a big fan of kids. I didn't think I would have kids. Ended up, like I said earlier, surprised with triplets. As I started raising those kids and really kind of deep diving my own self-awareness, my third business was created in that. That became my soul's purpose, right? So writing the parenting book that I've written, that's become an international bestseller, and the parent mentoring that I do started out as something that I did for friends, something that I did for friends of friends. But as the kids started growing and I started experiencing other children and I started experiencing other parents and how they were raising their children, I realized that this is my passion, this is my purpose, is to mend the dynamic of how kids are being raised and help heal parent and child relationships around the world, and to open the eyes of parents who we aren't given a script or a book or help in any way. We're thrown in and we learn. It's on the job training. But I take parents through my own journey of overwhelm and stress, and I help them realize that it's not about changing the child, that parenting is about changing yourself. And the first half of my book and the way that I mentor parents is about your relationship with yourself. And so once we get the ego and the guilt and, the control let go, and we understand all of that, we take that into our relationship with our children, and just mending that dynamic and helping parents realize that letting go of control actually gains control, and that respectful relationship and the partnership. So I'm a big proponent of teaching parents about partnership parenting, so that we're not doing a lot of the timeouts and the punishments, and we're developing trust in our relationships with our children. And it just creates independent, happy children and a happy household. But yeah, so that's how my business is making a difference, in that hopefully raising children who are having happier childhoods and more fulfilled parents and better relationships all the way around.
Oh my goodness. As you're speaking, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Yes. That's the world that you're creating. So thank you for that. That is absolutely dynamic and impactful. Marissa, what about you?
I love hearing Sue's story, because I work with top executives at corporate companies. So I work at people who manage a lot of people. And I too, literally has 3 pillars: leading self, leading others, and leading change. And the work I do with these top leaders is a lot focused on, they hire me typically to help me lead others, right? They want to lead others better. They want to help navigate change better. But I too, Sue, have to begin with them leading themselves, and helping them to sort of reintegrate all the beautiful aspects of who they are, their values, the positive impact that they want to make and can make, and help them sort of come back into sort of a much more holistic view of their leadership and impact and positive impact they want on the world. And really what that does is that it impacts so many things. It impacts their decisions. It impacts the products they back. It impacts the processes. It impacts how they treat their people. And so there's a really beautiful multiplier effect when leaders, are really striving to become their best selves and to really use their platform and their role to make an incredibly positive impact to our world. So I love how the the same similarity plays in the home, absolutely in the parenting role, and as importantly for our leaders in corporate roles.
Absolutely. That looking at self is always the biggest thing, and absolutely has the most impact on the rest of it. Thank you, Marissa. Eleanor, what about you? Tell us how your business is changing the world.
Well, it is creating more sovereign individuals, because what's happening is actually, I have two distinct parts in my business. That is about owning your voice when it comes to the media house, sharing your story, similar to yours. But also, people have to be aware that when they are not in control of their energy field, they are entangled in everyone else's energy fields, and you would be surprised if you checked other people's auric fields, because that is what I do, and this is what I do to people that are really successful, to leaders, to many different kind of people. But the thing is, there are so many of those that are actually doing things because other people have their energy fields connected to theirs, whether the mother, their father, their ex, their, everything around that. So what I'm doing in my business, and that I'm exceptionally successful with, is that I'm teaching them how to control their own frequency, so that they are doing what they are here to do, to really be totally aligned with their soul mission, and to find and reach the goals that they want to do. So this is quite powerful, and this is something that I want everyone to do, because I want to. There are so many wounded people out there that are just doing things because they think they are just reacting, instead of doing it because they want to do it. The true inner core, that it's totally aligned. So that's my soul mission too.
Absolutely amazing. And I mean, what a better time to stand in our sovereignty and to know who we are and what it is that we desire and what we're here to do. So this is what I would love to hear, because I know you all have so many things going on, and we would love to hear one thing that is next for you, that's on the horizon. This could be personal or professional, but something that you're excited about. What is one next thing for you on the horizon? Sue, we'll start with you.
I just really want to take my message wider. I'm trying to reach as many parents as I can. I'm trying to develop content that reaches out. I'm going on podcasts. I'm giving speeches. I'm looking at ways to sort of streamline my methods and my process so that it can be as easily actionable and consumable as possible, because that's the best way to get parents to be able to understand, what do I do next? Or I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so frustrated, I don't know what to do. I'm just looking at taking my message as wide as I can take it through touching as many people as I can. So
I'm happy to hear that. And actually, I just thought of something, so I would love to help you with that as well, because this is absolutely a key time for families to strengthen and for us to prepare the next generation. Marissa, what about you? What's one thing that's on the horizon that you're excited about?
Yeah, sure. So I think this time collectively, I think during the pandemic, there's been so much reflection around what do we really want, and I think it's created an environment for some people that are stagnating, and other people that are accelerating their transformation. And so what I'm really focused on a lot is interestingly enough, sort of how do people maximize this environment, maximize this reflection period to challenge a lot of their habits, and to challenge their habits like in the existing environment. So I'm always focused on untapped potential and the habits that trap that untapped potential. But I'm kind of doing it more and more on a micro level, focusing a lot more on some self-care that I think has been severely neglected for many, many years in my clients and my leaders. And it's funny because as an executive coach and a management consultant, I would steer away from anything that felt too mind, body, spirit connection. And I'm sneaking it in more and more in terms of the programs that I do and the types of services. And everyone is going deeper with me, which is just, it's super exciting to sort of see these, managing our stress and well-being becoming a higher priority, therefore enabling us to do so much, much better work. So that's kind of my secret agenda.
I like it. I like your secret mission. You keep sneaking that in there. This is what we need. Awesome. Eleanor, tell us about what is on the horizon for you. What are you excited about?
I'm very excited about that. I actually bought a magazine, and I don't mean a copy of a magazine. I actually bought the magazine.
Yeah.
Yay! So this is one of the most successful spiritual magazines in Scandinavia, and we are taking it global, worldwide in 2022, because apparently I have no limits at all. So that I'm really, really, this is so exciting, and we just had a photo shoot last night. So I'm going to be on the cover of my own magazine. That's my plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eleanor, I am so excited for you because I have, you're going to hear my non-physical, you can't see my guests out here, but they're here. I'm so excited for you because I've watched you do just that. It's like you keep asking the question every day, what's possible if there are no limits? And so I'm absolutely celebrating you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Michelle, I know that we have something on the horizon. Would you like to share what's next in terms of the Younger Self Letter series?
Yes, I'm so excited. We're getting our next book together, and we're looking for 30 amazing authors who want to be part of it. Younger Self Letters book 2, and this is a book about people who found their life purpose. Because most people kind of veer off, the path, and that's when you wake up, feeling that, there must be more to life than this. I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not feeling, like I have a lot of meaning in my life. And I think probably everybody here and, most people can relate to that. So I think it's going to be an important book. I think more people are really examining why they do what they do and looking deeper into what their life purpose is. Like you said, Adriana, we all are here for a reason, our soul's purpose. And I think we're tapping back into that. And I love what Marissa said about sneaking that into her very corporate work. And people are more open to it now. So it's going to be an amazing book. And I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. I am too. And what I'm noticing, like already with the first book, the people who have stepped forward, just like the women who are here today, they're the ones who are very aware and tuned into that this is their time. It absolutely matters. And this is not the lean back and wait for, anything. It's that step up. It's our time. Okay. So last but not least, I know that you all have freebies that other people can take advantage of, that they can learn more about you and the work that you have. So tell us, Sue, who is your freebie absolutely perfect for?
It's perfect for any frustrated, overwhelmed parent in crisis who absolutely needs to get on the phone with somebody today and figure out, how do I solve this problem? I'm yelling every day. I'm reminding and nagging every day. I don't know what else to do besides yell and scream and punish. And I've exhausted all my ideas, all my options. I don't know what else to do. If I could just talk to somebody that could tell me what's going on. That's what my freebie is for. 20 minutes free, a consultation. We're going to solve a problem. We're going to solve a problem in 20 minutes. I'm going to give you something actionable that you can take away and try, and it's going to get solved. So
there you go. Instant relief. What parent can't appreciate that? Marissa, what about you? Who is your freebie perfect for?
Yeah, my freebie is perfect for all the skeptics around meditation. So I was a huge skeptic around meditation. I tried it so many different ways, and I'd kind of given up. And then I discovered sort of affirmations, began writing my own, began creating accompanying meditations for much of my work. And there's a meditation as part of my first book, Work Smart. There's a Work Smart meditation. It's 20 minutes long, and it has beautiful beliefs that really support, professionally, and there's always crossover to personal, but they're actually their affirmations are very focused professionally. And I promise everyone who listens to it for 14 days in a row starts noticing benefits. So it's for anyone who is a bit skeptical and wants to invest 20 minutes a day for 14 days to help some of those beliefs in our heads that drive our mindsets.
Amazing. Well, I mean, we can do 20 minutes of scrolling. Surely we can do 20 minutes of meditating, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Eleanor, what about you? Who is your freebie perfect for?
Well, my freebie is an app that we are developing and launching this fall. So when everyone is going to sign up for my newsletter on my website, they're going to get the information exactly when it's going to be launched and out there. Because this app it has excellent tools for controlling your energy field, because we do that with the help of visualizations. Okay. And it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be more than a couple of minutes, a few times a day, to be aware of your energy field, where it should be. So that's what you're going to be able to do with the help of that app.
Exciting. Well, I want to invite everyone to read the amazing stories that are in the Younger Self letters. And if you would like to share your story in our next book, Michelle and I invite you to click on the link that I'll put in the description. We are here to highlight and showcase the stories of leaders who not only have experience and knowledge to share, but who are also willing to go right into their hearts and gift the world with that wisdom. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for who you are and the work that you do in the world. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.